The Immortal John Hancock here, and I have a fun video for you. May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day, and I can't wait to talk about today's video. And I'm doing something different on my channel. I wanted to do it, and you may like it, and in the comments below let me know if you want more of this content. And today I'm talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, and these are all the Star Wars movies that were released in theaters. These are the live action movies, 3 of the trilogies and the 2 extra movies in this video. And I'm doing a ranking them from S to F and giving you my thoughts. And I'm doing a random order. Thought it'd be kind of fun doing that. And you're going to have lots of opinions about this. I'm not here to change your opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. You know, I'm a middle-aged man, 48 years old, and I have lots of opinions being a Gen Xer and growing up with the Star Wars franchise. I like Star Wars. I've seen all the animated films as well, the TV series, most of the content, play most of the video games. And if you like this content, you may want to consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I talk many things, video games, and I'm going to make a dedicated Star Wars playlist for many Star Wars video games as well. And I might continue to do content like that. I might do more content like this. We'll see in the comments. Let me know. Here we go. I'm going to be jumping in random order of the Star Wars films. And you can rank these yourself. There'll be a link below. And thank you so much. So first up is Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Oh my goodness, this last year, 40th anniversary came out, got to re-see this in the theaters. And for this video, I'm just going with the theatrical releases. Special edition didn't really change the ranking for me on any of these. It may be for you, so definitely in the comments, let me know. And I am a big classic trilogy fan. I grew up as a young kid, seeing these in the theaters, both Empire and Jedi. I was too young for Star Wars, New Hope. But wow, Jedi has many things going for an excellent space opera action film. Yes, and you know what? I like the starship battle in this, Jabba the Hutt, the Endor fight scene, and the lightsaber battle. And it's the conclusion of the original trilogy. Now, you know, a lot of people, this is way up on their list, and it is for me. It's an A. I give this an A for many reasons. I think it's one of the better Star Wars films in its entirety. And that's how I'm giving these rankings, these grades, is for the film overall. Many people I know, I don't know about you, but I go on YouTube sometimes and just watch clips of films, the Starship Battle especially for Return of the Jedi. But I think Return of the Jedi is a solid release for a Star Wars film. So many iconic scenes. You know what? It is a pretty solid film in general, and it's a solid A. Following up Star Wars in random order, by the way, is a very controversial film directed by Rian Johnson, and that's The Last Jedi. And it's a very controversial film. You're going to love it or hate it. And, you know, I walked into this with an open mind. Again, seeing all these in theaters, and I really didn't like the direction the director took with this film. After J.J. Abrams really set up really a nice new trilogy, I disliked the direction of this for many reasons. First and foremost, I did not like Grumpy Luke, the direction he went with the character of Luke Skywalker. I see what he was trying to do. To me, the flow of the film is just all off. The skiff battle or whatever that thing was at the end, I did not like that either. There was just too many things going on. The Mary Poppins Leia scene, wow, this film has many things wrong with it. Overall, though, there was some things I did like about it. I did think it was bold of Rian Johnson to take a new direction. I just really disliked that direction of the film. Taking some of the main characters, Poe, that kind of made him just a grunt. I was really expecting them to do more with Finn. I did not like what this director did with the character direction. I didn't like how Rey really wasn't struggling about acquiring force powers. That too was really strange. Just there's several problems with this film. Now, overall, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And, at the end of the day, it's a popcorn film. I don't take them too seriously. Is it entertaining? Are these entertaining? Yes. But compared to other Star Wars film, I'm not going to go back and watch The Last Jedi. It is definitely a C. Next one goes to the prequel trilogy. And oh my goodness, so many problems. And, a lot of people bag on The Phantom Menace. And I'm going to get to that later on. Don't worry. But let's talk about Attack of the Clones, which is episode 2. This is the follow-up to The Phantom Menace. And I think a lot of people were expecting fixes to The Phantom Menace. There was so many problems with characters, direction, action. And, while there is some cool action sequences in Attack of the Clones, oh my goodness, Hayden Christensen couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. The love dialogue was atrocious. And there's some ways I dislike this even more than The Phantom Menace. There's so many problems with this film. I love the Jedi attack scene, and Yoda fighting at the end was just a little weird. I'd like some of the dialogue between Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, but overall, it doesn't save this film from being dreadful. It's a D. All right, next up. 4th in out of 11 for the movies that I'm going to be talking about. Here we go. And we're going to go right into episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. And this was a conclusion to a troubled new trilogy from Disney. And, I think The Last Jedi really set this up for some challenges. And, they brought back J.J. Abrams to finish this trilogy. And I disliked, again, the direction that Disney and Abrams went with this, bringing back the Emperor. I think that was just dumb. I couldn't get into the story. I think some of the cameos were forced. It just was just kind of a meh. At the end of the day, I like this a little bit better than The Last Jedi, but it still had several problems. It's one of 2 Star Wars movies I don't own in my collection. I refuse to buy it. I don't need to buy it. If I want to watch it, I'll go on Disney Plus and watch it. It's a C for me. All right, 5th up is a nice way to end the prequel trilogy, and I know a lot of people are going to love or hate the prequel trilogy for Star Wars in general. And for me, Revenge of the Sith was kind of the saving grace of the prequel trilogy. It is, of the 3 movies, the one that I enjoy going back and watching. I think it works completely as a movie itself. And there is some still problems with the prequel trilogy. It's not perfect. I don't put it anywhere near the original trilogy as in quality. But I think overall, Revenge of the Sith does a good job of wrapping up the things that I think Lucas wanted to do with the prequel trilogy, and it is an enjoyable film. I like several parts of this, the lightsaber battles, the struggles Anakin is having. That lightsaber battle at the end is very powerful. Holy cow. Overall, it's a B for me. I like this one a lot more and definitely more enjoyable to watch in its entirety. All right, number 6. Huge one on my list, and I've talked about this a lot on my channel. I sprinkled it in every now and then on Star Wars videos. I'm a huge Empire Strikes Back fan. Episode 5. It's dark. It's the Act 2. It's the follow-up for Star Wars. Irving Krishner was the director, I do believe. And you know what? This is a very dark film. It takes a lot of the Star Wars happiness and kind of makes it a little bit darker. What I love about this film is it builds upon the first one, unlike The Last Jedi. I think Empire Strikes Back is one of the best sequels, follow-ups to a blockbuster film. I am such a huge fan of Empire Strikes Back. It does so many things right. The Hoth battle scene, it's a slower film too. It's not as action-oriented, but it does such a good job at really adding an additional layer of character, building upon. You really, I think, get to understand Chewie, the droids, Han Solo and Leia, Luke and their struggles, Lando Calrissian's introduced, Yoda, and that epic lightsaber battle scene between Vader and Luke for the first time. Holy cow. So many great things. I think it has the best soundtrack. I think John Williams really knocked it out of the park. Of all the soundtracks, to me, Empire is by far the best. It's just got so many great things. An introduction of Boba Fett on a movie, live action movie. I know he was in a holiday Christmas special, but anyways, really want to say how much I love this. This is an S tier for me by far. It's one of the best Star Wars films, and it's a must watch, especially for people my age. Anyways, moving on. Episode 7, Force Awakens is the next film. And you know what? I went into this with open mind. I was ready for a new trilogy. This is the one that Disney took over with J.J. Abrams at the helm. Really had high expectations for this. And overall, not a bad movie. Really set up a good new trilogy. I was hopeful that Disney was going to take this in a great direction. There's a couple problems with this film, and some of the dialogue is off, but overall, I really liked Rey. I liked the introduction of the new characters. It was a nice tie-in to see Han Solo again, and Chewbacca, and some of the struggles, Leia, and anyways, at the end of the day, I give this a solid B. I think it works as a film. And I think of the new trilogy, it's the best of the three. It's a B. All right, next up. Episode 4, A New Hope. Oh my gosh, the one that started it all. And for me, a lot of people are going to have different opinions of A New Hope. Does it still hold up? This when it came out, I think the total budget was like $11 million. It was like $3 million over budget. I wrote a paper about this in college. Huge Star Wars fan. And, going back and watching the original, for me, it still works. You have to have a different lens looking at it. This was the one, they had less of a budget. It was less of a blockbuster. It was trying to be a space opera. It works. Alec Guinness, Han Solo, young Han Solo, Luke, Leia, Vader, Tarkin, the Death Star run. I like watching the original without any special edition, and it still holds up for me. It's an A. It's an A because, you know what, it established the entire franchise, and I enjoy going back and watching this from time to time, cheesiness and all. Next up is one that you're going to have very different opinions about. Now, it's 25 years since this came out. Can you guess it? That's right. It's The Phantom Menace. I camped out for this 25 years ago with friends. And had high hopes that Lucas was going to bring back the magic he did with the original trilogy and make an epic masterpiece. And I camped out and I went and saw it and was completely disappointed. There's so many problems with The Phantom Menace. Same with Attack of the Clones. Character creation. Jar Jar Binks, not a fan. Not a fan of the dialogue. It was just off. Flow, some of the new characters, even the design choices were just not Star Wars for me. Now, I can not be serious and just say, is this entertaining? Some of it was. And the two things that were still entertaining and solid were the soundtrack, I thought was pretty good, and the Darth Maul lightsaber battle. Does that save it from being a disappointment? No. This is a D for me. I do not like The Phantom Menace. And actually, I know many people are fans of this movie. They grew up with it. They might be younger. I'm of an older generation and grew up with, in my opinion, a better trilogy. And so it was disappointing for me because I saw the original trilogy first and grew up with that. All right, next up, there's 2 additional movies. I haven't forgot about them. I did these in random order. And the first one is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And you know what? This, to me, knocked it out of the park for a prequel to A New Hope. Holy cow. I know that there were some issues making this film. There was some things cut, things added. Anyways, this is an excellent film. And even though it's not part of the episode, it's not numbered, it doesn't have a cross at the start of the film. Man, K2SO, some of the additional characters knock it out of the park. I am a huge fan of this. I'm a big fan of the TV series Andor as well. I like Rogue One quite a bit. And I think it's way up there for all the new movies that Disney has been behind. This by far is my favorite, and it's a solid S for me, and it stands up there with Empire. I know that's controversial. I know people aren't going to agree with me. That's okay. It's my opinion. You're going to have yours in the comments. Let me know. So I think Rogue One is total S and a thumbs up for me. It's a must watch. why not? Go on Disney Plus, check it out. Anyways, final one is Solo. Now, Solo has lots of opinions. People have lots of opinions of Solo. And I've watched this film about 10 times now. And I can conclude that I think Solo is a great first half of the movie. I don't like the second half. There's some weird things about it. I don't like the droid in it. I don't like Lando's droid. That doesn't work for me, that personality. But Lando, that's all right. I think he works as a character. I like the character that played Solo. Overall, I like kind of the, you know, it does kind of have some, you know, things about Solo's past that, you know, a lot of people knew about. But seeing that in a live action film is pretty good. I like that the Falcon's in it. You get to find out why the Falcon looks all junky. There's several other things I like about this film. Now, I don't like the villain at the end. I don't like how it ends. I don't like the second part of the film. I think that's where it kind of just loses a little bit. But overall, that first part is pretty solid. I like that you could see where Solo came from and the struggles and all that. Pretty good. And you know what? Some other cameo characters in this, Woody Harrelson, and some others. And you know what? It works for me. This is a B. I give Solo a B. And I know some people may think that's kind of high. That's okay. And here are the final rankings. And what do you think? How would you rank Star Wars films? In the comments below, let me know. And in the link, you can go rank them yourself. And as always, thank you for watching this. Thought I'd do something different, talk about Star Wars movies, as I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and why not do that on May 4th? Anyways, thank you so much for viewing this channel. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.